Hello, children. Just under the wire because you girls can't pay attention to fucking time. Why do you make so much less than men? I don't know. And it's good morning, Croy. Good morning. Good morning, Coronachan. It is afternoon. It is not morning. And this is the first Good Morning, Coronachan we've done in a while because Cappy, as always, is very busy. And I had to go through some math. I figured out I'm doing like between 14 and 18-hour work days. Between all this fucking shit I got to do because we have income taxes. If you had a sales tax, I would have saved myself at least 2 months, 2 weeks full-time work. But no, we got to, and talk to Chad Elkins about this during tax season, talk to NDCPA about this. You wouldn't have a tax season. You'd have all this extra time and don't know, once again, I'm not an economist, but if we could just magically grant people an extra $500 billion in time, that would give you the raw material and productive capacity to increase economic production, to increase our wealth. It's called human time. That's the only thing. That's it. That's it. You go look outside. It's not, well, that has value because it's a diamond, or this has value because that's oil. No, some human had to go and dig it up out of the ground and then refine it and transport it or cut it the right way if it happens to be a diamond. You got, it's money. Oh, but what will we do for a job if the accountants don't have taxes to do? I don't know. Something fucking else. Not our problem. It's their problem. No one was shedding a tear for the horse farrier people in the horse and buggy industry when Henry Ford came in and hit him upside with his big automation line dick. And say, oh, yes, Thomas Landrum, you're late because the woman doesn't know how to tell time. That's how, Thomas. That's that people, you can. And late, I was right on time. It was 12:50. That's when the start was. So it's Good Morning, Coronachan. Let us lead with some good news. I got a news story here. Let me pull this up. But then it's going to be a shit show, by the way. It may not be that long. It may only be an hour. This is from our cowgirl agent in the field down in Tejas. 97-year-old Texas man honored his oldest law enforcement officer. He has served as a police officer, county sheriff, and now a deputy. So here he is. He looks great for 97. He got a full set of hair. Clyburn, Texas. Most people retire before they hit 74 years old. Never mind working 74 years on the job. But one local man has done just that. Bill Harding, 97, is a deputy in Sherburne, Texas. That's just 35 minutes south of Fort Worth. He began his career in the mid-1940s, has served as a police officer, county sheriff, and now deputy in various counties in that area. He says his good health is what keeps him putting on the badge every day. Well, that's how you live. I guarantee you, if he didn't have that job, he would have died years ago. I'm going to keep doing this until the sheriff runs me out. If I can make it to 75, I may go ahead and retire, Hardin said. The Chisholm Trail Museum of Clyburn honored his time serving in law enforcement by creating a new exhibit all about his time on duty. So if we did the math, of course, this is a short article. And they didn't do, so he's 97. When was he born? The 20s? 2021 minus 97. So he was born in 1924. Okay. He would have been old enough to serve in World War II. And then, so 2021 minus 74 years on the force, when he entered. Oop, did that wrong. 2021 minus 74 equals 1947. So he became a cop during Truman's administration. Holy cow. Look at him. He's happier than Punch. He's happier than. So there we go. Let's stay on top of the super chats before things get too lengthy here. Competent man, $2. Buy an extended tax deadline from 4/15 to 5/17. I bet you Chad's happy about that. I bet you he's super happy about that. Anything to make it easier for the losers of society. I mean, honest to God, you can't get your fucking tax. What? You didn't have a job? None of you had jobs. You all got to work from home. How the fuck can you file on 415? Oh, God, Chad's probably pissed. I bet you, Chad, if you're listening, here's where you cut off everybody. You tell them, no, I will not be filing extensions to 517. You either get it to me on the 15th. You either get it to me on April the 15th, or you go find another CPA. This is your opportunity to be a dick, Chad. This is your opportunity to strike back at the assholes and the lazy and the parasitic and the stupid of the world and the entitled. I want my extension for her. Or the dude bro douchebags like, oh, dude bro, I don't have to file for another month and 2 days because procrastination feels better than masturbation. So that poor accountant. Judd Grover, $2. Don't tell me Cappy found out he got an 11-year-old kid. No, I do not have. No. I do not have an 11-year-old kid. I have always made the offer that any woman out there, don't care if you're young or old, fat or ugly or what, if you want my seed, you can have it for the low after-tax price of $1.5 million. And we will go down to the in vitro fertilization clinic. They will have the extrapolation of my seed. And then as long as you give me the 1.5 million and the check don't bounce and you sign a legal disclaimer about the size of my books, then you can have as many little cappies as you want. Well, actually, I'd have to have it like you get one pregnancy. You get one pregnancy. It's $1.5 million per child, because that way when you come in, you made a mistake and I don't want responsibility. Government, go get that man's money because I paid him as an adult, shaking hands, and he said, hey, you can't come after me. Then I'll have this nice, huge legal document and at least being willing to spend $500,000 defending it. So I'm not even going for 1.5 million. What I'm doing after you factor in political risk and legal risk and lying and I'm just going for $100,000. I'm sorry, $1 million. Sorry, $1 million. not 1.5 per kid, and it has to be per kid because they're like, Alex Patino, our truck driving agent in the field. People will still be filing for extensions. Yeah, and they'll still file to the October extension. Now is the opportunity for all the CPAs and accountants out there. You don't have to take these people on. This is what happened last year with the great and merciful Coronachan. Tax season is very busy. It's almost 4 months from January 1st all the way to April 15th. Well, they just kept extending it. And so it wasn't like this 4-month or 3.5-month period of hell. It was 6 months of hell. Then you throw in the different dates for corporate tax returns to be filed on time. You also have then the Dubros, procrastinator, masturbators that extend till October. And it's like, okay, so what are the accountants supposed to do? Work 8 months out of the year at 80 hours a week? Competent man for $2 speculate IRS overloaded with stimulus check processing. I don't know. Is it the IRS or is that the Treasury Department that does that? Would the Treasury Department have to go pull some people like, hey, give us a list of all the people that made less than this amount? Okay, there's your checks. Nonstop Dre, $2. This will test if Chad is still a nice guy. Yeah, it will. It will. I'm wondering, Competent Man, was that announced today? That that Biden just extended today? It would be great if the account said, nope, we're done. We're done babysitting the effing tards of the world who they don't understand 415. Oh, they understand 420. Dude, herky durky dur. Get it? It's pot, man. Fucking douchebags. Aside from you guys, 415. You guys can't, you don't understand that? See, I am not a big fan of the IRS or taxes, but as much as I dislike taxation in the IRS, I hate lazy people more. And if there were ever to be President Cappy, I think there'd be kind of this like, you file by 4:15 or you go right the fuck off to jail. I don't care if you're in a wheelchair or your grandma. I guess you better get that in pretty early. And if you don't get your taxes in by the 15th, you will go to jail and you will do community service party. So you do community service out during the daytime. And then at night, we teach you how to do your own fucking taxes. How much you want to bet people get their taxes in on time? Christoph Anonymous, $5. The whole 2021 tax year was screwed up by declaring unemployment untaxed. I had a month of unemployment income filed early and just refiled. Yeah, and then when they keep changing the rules mid-year and you file your taxes early, like, oh, wait, I got to go back. But we don't need a sales tax. We don't need a sales tax. Swallow Blue, $5. Here's your bailout money for both your house and now childcare. Had to edit for YouTube censors. I do not have a child. I made sure of that. I had a couple pregnancy scares, but I made sure of that. And one gal kind of scared me. She says, what if I told you I was pregnant? And this was like when I was making nothing. I was poor. I said I would change my name and move to Mexico unless you got rid of it or decided to put up for adoption. But if you ever came for me, I would, you know, I don't have that much money anyway. And I don't know if that was a theoretical question or a, oh shit, he ain't fucking around. Because then I had nothing to lose. I had nothing to lose. Then there was one gal, she just skipped her period because she was completely stressed at work. And I guess, well, let's take a look. Hang on, is that a real thing or is that just something I heard on the, because that's an anecdote. That's a instance of where stress caused a woman to skip her period. Women entering menopause earlier. I know if you search it, you'll find it. They call it early menopause. Silent epic midlife UTIs, what to do about it. Can we please talk about perimenopause? Women entering menopause. Women, let's try women menopause. See, and this is where it's like Carrier app helps debunk the myths of menopause. Co-founder and CEO. A woman wrote an app. Guys, I'm not going to be co-founder, president, and CEO of the Clary Company, which is just me and my blog. All these girls that you're on Plenty of Fish. Okay, you're independent contractors. Technically, yes, you have a business. But say, well, I'm a businesswoman. That's like me saying I'm a businessman. I'm really not. I'm a contractor. Okay, I would when I hear businessman or founder or president and CEO, like, yeah, at least have to have a board of directors. And there has to be an executive management team, and you should have employees. I'd even go so far as to say, yeah, you know what? You better have a factory or something. You better have like workers and unions and supply trucks and raw materials. And here we go. Apple Newsroom. I don't know, because Apple. Arfa Riemann, CEO and co-founder of the Women's Health app, educates on an overlooked segment of society. Korea apps help debunk the myths of menopause. In the field of women's health, medical advancement has focused on birth control and fertility treatments, even though women spend several years and average $20,000 in trial and error treatments, doctor visits, and products trying to get the right diagnosis and treatment for menopause. You spend 20 grand on being treated for menopause? Co-founders Arfa Riemann and Scott Gorman saw the need for guidance and support during menopause, and together they launched Korea, formerly called Clio, a personalized guide to help users understand menopausal changes in managing the system. Because I'm sure the American Medical Association has not documented this at all. I'm sure you just can't go to mayoclinic.org and look this up. I'm sure what's this new thing you speak? What is this menopause you speak of? Oh, is it a new thing? Tell us, what did you discover? There's a lack of education about menopause and its treatments in the medical community, as only 20% of obstetrician gynecologist residency programs in the U.S. have a formal menopause curriculum. As a result, many medical professionals don't have the training to diagnose and treat menopausal symptoms, often leaving with insufficient options support. 78% of respondents indicate that menopause interferes with their lives. Well, wouldn't all of it, like, I don't know if it obstructs your life, but doesn't it have an effect on your life? 23% of respondents indicated that menopause had either a great deal or completely debilitating act on their lives. And so here's this app. Okay, so you could download the app, guys. Day 1, standing lower body position. Mindfulness challenge. Day 1, tension release. To combat this, Korea implements an AI-powered assistant that women can chat with in order to uncover the meaning of their symptoms and where they might be in the menopause journey, which you can do on the internet for free. You created an app that probably doesn't make any money. I seriously wonder if there is a company even called Korea, like it's been registered, like a legal professional would. And I know the news doesn't matter. Apple Newsroom. I mean, oh, wow. Were you bored and did you have some extra money left over there, Apple? Like, oh, we got 300,000. Let's create our own newsroom. Hey, you worthless, talentless English majors, come write this crap. Is there any non-puff pieces? Like, is there any real journalism that goes on? And this wasn't investigative. It's like, okay, what's your revenues? What's your profits? Well, how many downloads do you have? Developed with experts, especially in women healthcare, provides evidence-based approaches for managing menopause, including cognitive behavioral therapy, psychology. It's bullshit. Hypnotherapy. Okay. All right. Never mind. Since there's so few options when it comes to managing menopause, right? There's no help. None. God. As well as a lack of well-designed products for Gen X women, we're hoping for Korea to fill that gap. Hey, did you hear that, Gen X ladies? Menopause. It's happening. Attended Apple Entrepreneur Camp where they collaborated in person for the first time with one of their key engineers. Right, so that's the guy that did the job. Don't tell me Riemann or Gorman came up and did the programming. They believe that the program was instrumental to Korea's development, helping them incorporate new technologies and absorb expert insight from Apple's design team on how to improve an app's user experience. 50 million strong. Myth. You guys ready for some myth? Here's some myths. Okay, myth. Menopause is a thing because you can have children at any age, right, lady? All right. Taboo and stigma are commonly tied to menopause. I doubt that. I very much doubt that it's a natural phenomenon. Everybody, it's like as natural as death. Menopause transition has 4 phases: premenopause, perimenopause, menopause without a postmenopause. No universal. Oh, okay. The myth is menopause is a universal shared experience. It's not. There's no universal template of symptoms, timing, and there's one symptom. You ain't got no fucking eggs left. Is that universal? I'm sure in the 50 billion women that have been on the planet, maybe women did live into old age and 1 or 2 could continue having eggs. Or I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm pretty sure the universal thing about menopause is you don't produce no more eggs. When people hear menopause, they often think of hot flashes, but menopause is a complex process that can cause more than 40 types of symptoms. These can range from anxiety and depression, fatigue, joint pain, to changes in cognition and digestion. Additionally, menopause and its changes have enormous impact on one's body, can set the stage for an entire second half. Second half! Okay. Myth, menopause only occurs in women of retirement age. Yeah, okay, most women start perimenopause as early as their 30s and 40s, falling in the Gen X and late millennial. Oh, even the big M word is hitting the millennial ladies. Age groups that are the peak of their careers and earning power. Yes, yes. So you can't have kids. Go and work more and pay taxes. Be a good wage slave. I mean, strong, independent, empowered woman. Go and pay taxes. Work more, consume. Buy $5,000 Prada bags and don't pay off your debts. Be a strong, independent woman. Oh. You can have children at any age. Menopause can be a stage of immense power and productivity in women's lives and careers, though that's not how most people view menopause. Because of that, women often remain silent to avoid being stigmatized. Well, or maybe it's just not socially correct to mention. I think that's kind of a private affair, right? Most women wouldn't be coming out like, well, yo, guys, guess what? I skipped my period this month. I think I have the menopause. I think people are just a little bit more modest than that. When women don't have support and can't manage, because you don't have, God almighty. What would enough support look like? When would there be enough? Women have no support. Okay, what paint that world for me? Like what? You're being carried around on one of those movies, the Bob Hope, Bing Crosby Road to Something movies, and they're carrying the king on the throne, and like you're having grapes feeded to you, and every possible women concern you have is doted on by various people. If you are not being supported right now, culturally, financially, socially, whatever, I don't know what, I don't know who, you'll never will be. You never will. Impacts on physical and mental health as well as career, creating inequality in the workforce. Of course. 88% of women in the Korea community report that unmanaged systems affect the work of careers. Menopause has no treatment. I'm waiting for one of the myths to say that menopause is a thing. You know that you can have kids at any age. They didn't. I'm surprised that we even admit menopause exists. I'm surprised. So, getting back to that, I heard somewhere, and I couldn't find it on the internet. Well, let's try Bing. Google is pretty worthless. Like, you cannot find what you want with Google anymore. Women entering menopause sooner. Oh. So, 5 reasons someone going okay. The only thing that comes to me is WebMD. I wish there was a source on the internet for free about medical conditions that we could look up. Early menopause more likely in women without kids. Odds also greater if monthly periods started at 11 or younger. Okay. Wednesday, this is 2017. The risk of premature early menopause is higher among women who began having menstrual periods at a young age and did not have children. New report contends. Premature menopause is when periods naturally stop before the age of 40. Early menopause is when periods naturally stop when a woman is between 40 and 44, the study author said. New research included more than 51,000 women in Australia, Japan, the United Kingdom, and Scandinavia. Okay, that's pretty wide selection there. Women who started their menstrual periods at age 11 or younger were 80% more likely to have premature menopause than those who started their periods between ages 12 and 13. That's very interesting. Okay. Women who also began menstruation at 11 or younger are also 30% more likely to have early menopause. The studies. Isn't that what you just said? Premature. Oh, premature menopause and early menopause. What's the difference? Those who had never been pregnant or never had children had a twofold increase of premature menopause. These women also had a 30% increased risk of early menopause, according to this study. Okay, so this is maybe this is the study they're citing. I don't think necessarily more women are entering it. It's just that if you ignored nature and said, I can have a kid at 47, because I read an article one time about a woman in Brazil who had a child at 69. So there. That was the long about way of answering Swallow Blue's $5 super chat. Even though we didn't ask about menopause. See, we all learned way more about menopause than any of us ever want to do. I'm still shocked to this day we even admit it exists, because isn't what we're learning now that it's feels before reals, right? Your truth, is that more important? The Whiskey Librarian, $2. Good morning, Cappy Chan. Yes, it's afternoon over here in the Twin Cities. Taekwondo for €2. Imagine all the people sharing all the money. Is there an actual song like that? If all the people shared all the money, there would be no production. There's that whole production thing. And what pisses off the left so much is the people, as long as you're not in like a kleptocracy or a dictatorship or something like that. Usually if you're at a free market, free world democracy type, the people who work harder and better and smarter are the ones who have more money. Or the people just save their money. They're frugal. And they're more productive people. They didn't just like get it. Of course, there are trust fund babies, but they went out and earned it. Usually they are compensated for a highly valued skill or labor. And so if you want to take all their money away, well, then these are the producers. These are the engines of society. You will have no food. You will have no computer. You will not have a cell phone. You might have a cell phone, but there will be no cell tower because you just told all the electrical engineers and linemen that they have to fork over 70% of their income to a fat, bloated single mom or some piece of shit deadbeat dad in rehab. And then you're like, where'd all the food go? Herky-durky-durky-dur. I know what it was. It was the patriarchy. The patriarchy took all the food. The Competent Man, $2. 517 extension out yesterday by the IRS. Nonstop Trey, our Black Marine agent in the field with an incredibly huge peen. If you had 2 million subs, what would you do if you got raped, accused by prior GF years ago due to your fame on the internet or the Carlson School? The Carlson School, I would welcome because I have the freedom of speech on that one. If I had 2 million subs, look, okay, I don't think I'd ever get to 2 million subs, but let's say I had 2 million subs. If I had 2 million subs, I probably would very likely be a millionaire, and I would probably not be on the internet anymore. It would be a very like one a week podcast. Hey, what's up, guys? Cappy's still alive. Maybe make a guest appearance. But I would the scenario you're painting, I don't think I would ever get there because I will have my money and enough to retire long before I hit 2 million subs. And if I did have 2 million subs, I'd almost immediately have the money and I wouldn't care. I'd be like, yep, I was a scumbag. Yep, I went out. Now, grape accusation, no. I've never graped a girl. Okay. I've never sexually assaulted. I've never caught, I didn't even cop a feel. I think maybe in the 8th grade, maybe I held a girl's ass, but she was also holding my ass. Okay, you know, the 8th grade waddle, that kind of thing. Girl would put her hands in the back of your pocket. And you boys get that experience? All right. So, and you know, it'd be like, yep, scumbag. All right. You might as well go fire every guy out there right now. In the meantime, fuck off. Oh, and if it is the grape, I want cops or it didn't happen. It's like cops or it didn't happen. I'm not sitting here going through this again. Yeah, but if I had 2 million subs, I'd be gone the next. I'd be like, how much money this month? And good night, everybody. And then Cappy would just be hiking and looking for agates and shooting his guns and riding his motorcycle. Island Hermit, $5. My 18-year-old little brother is on the path of becoming a dude, bro. How do I save him? He's already buying cars he can't afford. Laugh out loud. I'm a minimalist. Well, let me ask you this, Island. Are your parents in any way supporting him financially? Because it may, one, this is a separate person, brother or not, blood or not. This is a separate person. And you could go in and all you could do is say, listen, you dumbass, stop pissing away your money. You could try and give him bachelor pad economics, have him read the book about, or the chapter on buying cars. You can maybe get him Poor Richard's Retirement, but getting him to read the damn thing is not going to happen. Perfect example, the book Worthless, which is like my first real successful book, written over 10 years ago. I dedicated it to this little girl who was little at the time. I'm like, I'm going to make sure she goes and it's too young. She won't read it now, but when she's older. And then she runs off and majors in hotel management. No, I'm sorry, event planning management. I'm like, what? And so, and it taught me a lesson. It taught me a lesson. You don't control other people. All you can do is go in there and say, hey, you really ought to not do this, and here's what's going to happen, and then you walk away. The other thing with your parents, if he is anyway financially reliant upon them, they're the ones that are enabling him to do this. You know, so you're a minimalist, I'm a minimalist, and I'm going to assume you, me, and you know, the Ed Lattimores of the world, and most of the people here, we were minimalists because there wasn't no freaking money. We were poor. And that forces it on you, and you learn. But if your parents are going to shield them like a privileged little girl from Winnetka with a constant parental subsidy of money and paying for rent or whatever else, yeah, he'll never face hunger and poverty and starvation and homelessness, which are great things to develop your work ethic and make sure that you're actually over the long term much more successful. So until he's done being coddled by his parents, if he is, that's also out of your control. So you got to go talk to your parents like, hey, stop giving him the fucking money. He's buying worthless cars with this shit. What are you doing? But otherwise you let him suffer. And if he's buying his car now, he'll maybe get out of it 25, 26, 27, 28 when the finances are all done. But, well, that was stupid. I've never heard a guy say, yeah, it was totally worth it when I leased that car. Not one guy's, oh, I borrowed the money for that sports car. It was totally worth it. Never heard it. But I mean, go in, speak your piece, give him a book or two, have him read an article or whatever, but then stop worrying about it yourself, because now you're the one hurting yourself. And that's it. He's gonna go down that path no matter what. Adriano Ramos, our Mauritian Australian agent in the field for $5 Australian. Doing taxes in the US seems way too complicated. Mine took 10 minutes to do with my tax agent. Most of them are that simple. It's that, what we're talking about right here are the things called extensions. Now, I don't know if you got extensions in Australia, but if you're a procrastinator, masturbator, and you just don't like doing work, and you're so stupid, you're such a low IQ person, you think, well, if I do it later, that means it's less work. No, it ain't, and there's more fees and interest and taxes on top of it. So it is the American behavior of laziness, sloth, and procrastination that creates essentially a doubling of the amount of work accountants have to do. And yeah, if you got one W-2 and you just a 1040 ES, it's the simplest form you can for 1040A. You can do it yourself for the most part. It's not that hard. So a tax agent, yeah, about 10 minutes. So if you do it on time and right, it's not that hard. But if you keep filing for extensions, it gets very difficult. Next door to the tax agent was an Asian massage parlor. Good for them. I hope they're making a lot of, they're part of the 1099 superior race, aren't they? All right. Scott Lutke, $2. Has nothing to say. Thank you very much. Whoa, Doug Chisholm. $20. Cappy, I have two daughters, 14 and 16 years old. If you had two daughters of these ages, how would you advise them on career choice and being useful women? I'm a new listener. I've enjoyed your topics and presentation. I give them, look, this book here, I got a book called Bachelor Economics, and it's somewhat of a misleading title because personal finance is universal for everyone. About the only thing that really is different between men and women in terms of finance and career and economics is that women live a little bit longer. So maybe they want to postpone the retirement date, and maybe they should save up a little bit more money, especially if they're going to be, like Gen Xers and millennials are intending to be spinsters without a husband who, when he dies, before they do, they get his estate. So since most of you girls all fish bicycle, don't need no man, you're going to die alone with cats, you should probably bank a little bit more money. Assume you're going to, find out how old your parents were, how old were they when they died, add a couple more years to be safe, and you should have enough money saved up for that. So that's about the only truly different thing between men and women, because men, like the laws of physics, men and women also have to abide by the laws of economics. But specific advice, so any advice I give to the daughters is the same way I give to the guys, but to speak more directly to the younger ladies in your life, One, they are going to be so propagandized about majoring in the most worthless crap and that they're going to change lives and save the world and help the children. No. You get in my book, Worthless, you say, I am not paying your way through college for stupid shit. We are going to, this is where you have a responsibility as a father. You're going to sit down with your girls and say, we're having a topic here, a conversation about where you're going to go off to college and what you're going to go study. And there's the trades. There's nothing wrong with working and not going to college, living at home and saving up some money, figuring out what you want to do. Nothing wrong with that. There's the military. And then, of course, there's your worthwhile degrees, your STEMs, your accountings and medicine and things in dentistry. We've talked about that before. And that's kind of it. There's others, but, as long as there's a job at the end of it. Another one that they might like, a lot of women, is a dental hygienist. I think 18 months schooling, and they're already making like 50, 60 grand. Of course, it's all intended to marry the rich dentist, but, people can live off of that. So you have to have a conversation with them about majoring in the right thing. Because if they don't, they're going to beg for you, and heaven help you if you co-sign their loans. Now you have a familial financial liability. Right? Then they're going to have to live at home. And then they're going to, no doubt, be brainwashed and indoctrinated with leftist crap if they major in worthless crap at school, but largely the liberal arts and the social sciences. And then now you got it. Now you got 2-3 times the amount of work. Had you just nipped this in the bud now instead of having it become this monstrous vine tree weed that you have to go take a hedge clippers to. Now you got to deal with the bad finances. You have to deprogram them from their Marxist, leftist, feminist, whatever variant brainwashing. They got to go back to school or training to find some kind of other education. And then, I don't know, but you'll be old and maybe you don't want to argue with 28-year-olds anymore. So if you educate them now, say, I'm not paying your way through college. I'll help you a little bit if you major in if you major in something worthwhile. But otherwise, you can go in the military or something else. You are going to support yourself. So that's finance and economics. That spend less than you make. Be a minimalist. It's nothing different than what you tell guys. Then if they want to be happy, here's another thing. You have to tell them, look, the whole world is going to tell you that your value comes from you working hard, going into debt, buying stuff, paying taxes, and having Prada shoes, that your career is the most important thing. You have got to install it in their brains and their minds that your career is not the most important thing in life. It is your other fellow human beings. That they will someday grow up and they will find a guy and they would like to fall in love with him and have kids. And you know what? There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And that is more important than your career, assuming you choose the right person. You can make it a nightmarish hell if you choose the wrong guy. You don't raise your kids. Yeah, it'll be a horrible, nightmarish existence. And I could see, since most parents don't bother raising their kids anyway, unlike Doug here, they have really crappy kids and crappy spouses. No wonder you might think the most important thing in your life is your career. But if you want your sister, your daughters to be happy, and if they're lesbian, fine. Okay, find another one, whatever. It's that other person. But generally speaking, here's the deal. Do you want to fall in love and get married to a man? Yes. All right. Do you want that more than money? Do you want, okay, do you really want, this is an important thing you want? Okay. So to get kids and a husband, what do you got to get first? They say, I got to get the Geisa. Right. In order for you to get the Geisa, at least a high quality one that doesn't live at home and is begging for a bailout at 38 years old from Biden for a sociology degree, if you don't want that guy, you need to be in shape. You need to be physically beautiful. You need to not be slutty, but comport yourself in a feminine way. Be feminine, wear dresses, long hair. Don't get fucking tattoos. Don't jab pieces of metal into weird parts of your body or your face. No, you are not a Marxist feminist. In your face. I don't need, no. You will be ideally demure, sweet, kind. I always enjoyed girls that are a little bit more sparring, though, to be perfectly honest. I liked them when they fought back a little bit. They were always a little bit, but do not nag. Do not nag. And you put people in your life first, not your career and not your effing politics. And then say, you want, that's how it works. This big is beautiful. Those women will never find a guy they're physically attracted to. Never. Big is not beautiful. It is gross. You want the guys? You go to the gym and you keep the tight ass that backs up into this. Unless, of course, you're Fresh from Fresh and Fit, because Fresh likes women with a little bit bigger. He says, I want to be able to set a coffee cup on their ass. I'm like, it's a bit big, man. I don't think you and I are going to chase after the same girls. I don't think there'll be a lot of competition between us. And look, your two daughters, the hurdle is not high. It's really not. Be feminine, be nice. Don't be a Marxist, communist, feminist pain in the ass. Don't have worthless degrees in student loan debts, and don't have no other man's kids. And and be thin or relatively in shape. And they're going to be in the top 5% of women. And you also got to train them to find a good guy. Not necessarily the hot, popular guy. Saw a lot of that in Miami, right? But a good quality guy. And I think that's more, Doug, you pull off even half that. That's more than 99% of the fathers in the United States do now. 99%, whatever you want, little sweetheart, because if I said no, your mother would divorce me and sleep with Tyrone or Jake in sales. No, Kevin in sales. Kevin's in sales. Chad is in accounting. Where does Tyrone work? Is he in engineering? Where's Tyrone? Is he in the motor pool? What does Tyrone do? We all know Kevin in sales. We'll get to the 11-year-old kid. Ben Jones, $2. It's almost like women are supposed to have kids. I don't believe in supposed, but I always get a kick that men and women are the same. You look like, no, we're not. We're physically not. And these two things we have down here kind of work together for very obvious reasons. So I wouldn't say women are supposed to have kids. They can have kids if they want or not. But don't think that, there's, well, how can I put it? Don't think there's a lot more important in life than being loved, probably by your kids. And don't think you don't have maybe at least a certain role to play in society. I'm not saying a destiny, but men have a role where we're men. What are we? Well, we're pretty much better at fighting, doing hard work, getting shot at, going to war. We're linemen, whatever, police, firefighters. So we kind of accept that role a little bit. Women, I don't know, but you have these things on your chest that are called boobs. Now, I'm no doctor, but I'd imagine that those might be used for something aside from fun. Now, I don't know what procreation, biological reason one sex would have boobs and the other one wouldn't. And I'm sure we don't see this replicated in the animal kingdom whatsoever. And we can't imagine that nature's trying to tell us something. But you know what? Go against your... I'm a libertarian. Do what you want. I don't care. But my thing is, ladies, deep down inside, if you want to have kids, you want to have the husband, then go have them. If not, then don't. And if you do have them, put them number one in your life. If you don't want to, don't have them. And I've said it before, Ben. I really want you look empirically at how women are making their choices. It's becoming increasingly apparent that women functionally, effectively do not want to have children. They have made their choice. They may have made a hypocritical choice or a choice they were not being intellectually honest to themselves with. They might want desperately more than anything else to want a children and husband, but they couldn't do it because if they said that, they would be kicked out of the feminist beehive in society. But that's too bad for them. Too bad for them. Negative Bips, $5. Here's some stimmy check. Listen to How Not to Become a Millennial. It gets boys. Get it, boys? Oh, listening to How Not to Become a Millennial. Get it, boys. Chapter 3 is savage. What's chapter 3? You made me wonder, what is chapter 3? The whole thing is savage. I just so you know, if you are a millennial, you're going to pick on millennials. No, I open up my initial salvo, and almost a good fifth of the book is just beating the shit out of the boomers. I take the boomers and I just club them over the head with a fistful of "Come on, baby, light my fire." The worst failure in American history. Oh, okay. Yeah, I take that back. Okay. Chapters 1 through 3 are more introductory. Then we go to town on the boomers. But yeah, chapter 3 does kind of point out how the millennials are just The largest. They are the largest failure in history. But don't worry, Gen X or Gen Z is coming right along. Khalid Hotsclaw, $2. Can I email you a question and you vid answer it today if I have time? If I got time. I want to go for a walk. I want to relax. I want to enjoy my day. Be strong, $5. Are there any other countries as obsessed with skin color as the United States? I don't think so. I think it is in the United States. Maybe the UK or Australia, maybe. But the United States, because we had the race riots and a drug addict get killed, unfortunately. That has now brought race to the forefront, and it's in the schools and everything. I even have a chapter in there about traitism, where we can talk sex and race and disability, but it's all traits. And that's what it really is. It's really about traits. And the reason it's about traits is because if you can get victimhood status by a trait you have that the majority of the people don't, you could claim you're a victim and therefore you're entitled to free shit. It's no more complicated than that. They obfuscate it and confuse it and also hide behind individual traits. So like if you pick on black people, oh, you're picking on them because they're black, you're racist. No, picking on because as a culture or a community, they make a lot of bad decisions that are really bad for them in the long run. And I actually do want to help them. That's why I'm trying to. So, or if you criticize women, hey, maybe you should stop majoring in stupid shit, sexist because they're hiding behind vagina. All it is lazy people who don't want to work and they're trying the best to find a trait that they got to claim they're a victim and therefore they deserve preferential treatment in government, hiring, scholarships, hiring in corporate America, disability, very common. All right, just so you see, it goes beyond traits you were born with. I mean, how many little millennial soy boys? Oh, I got a case of the bipolars. I got a case of the anxieties. Oh, I need to go on disability. Oh, I'm this particular made up gender this week. That Baskin's 31 flavors of gender just came up with 32. And so you see, it's not anything specific to a race or a sex or any other individual group of people. It is lazy people reaching for the easiest excuse they have as to why they suck at life. And because that means it's this thing, I suck at life, and all you people without this thing are oppressing me. That's what it is. And so I would say you have to expand your eyes. It is not just race. It is sex, gender, mental stability, sexuality, not so much religion or ethnicity, though some people would claim that. Age is another trait or variable. And yeah, we're not the United States anymore. We're not America. We're just a nation of pussies who don't want to work and are so sad and desperate. We'll lie about who we want to fuck to ourselves and the world so we can get a government check. Or even worse, just so you can get pity and attention. Alex Patino, $5. I kicked my little brother when he graduated in 2017. He's 21 now. He got an apprenticeship as an electrician now. He has his own house in Ogden, Utah. See, there you go. You look, guys, this bullshit where you wait until like your kid moves home at 32, like, son, it's time we had to talk. No, you piece of shit, Dad. The time to have to talk was when the kid was 14 or 15. And Alex, thank God, his brother has an older brother, Alex. Alex has an older brother, went in there and kicked his ass. And he did his brother more of a favor than a lifetime of government checks and handouts would have done. Now his brother's got a house. He maybe has a family. He's an electrician, skilled individual, not mentally ill. I always wondered about that. Like, if you were so obsessed with traits, made up or real, and you had to take that victimhood ideology all the time. Oh, because I got brown eyes and people like people with blue eyes more. So I need brown-eyed bailout. Give me the brown-eyed bailout. I just look like everyone else. That has got to work horrifically bad things on your mind. I mean, you could see that with feminists where they especially if they actually believe like, oh yeah, men are out there patriarchying all the time, oppressing, like, man, like, so that ruins your sex life, your love life. You can't trust men, even a working capacity, I guess. It's like, wow. Now, like, what's that going to be? I know this isn't even necessarily a trait. Here's a belief. This one gal, she was freaked out. This is in Rapid City of all places. We were at Qdoba, and I'm ordering my food, and she had a mask on. This was early on. In South Dakota, you don't need the mask. So I'm just, so I'll take this, I'll take that. Then I kept moving close because, you're trying to go through the line quickly. They got other people behind you. And this girl is just like, you need to stand away and back off. I'm like, whoa, lady. Okay, relax. Now, in intellectual fairness, she may have actually had a physical ailment that would have made her frail or particularly susceptible. But then I would ask, what are you doing out in public at a public restaurant, you idiot? But I think it's more, I have to put on the mask because I have value. I put on the mask. I'm good according to the government. And it's kind of like, yeah, life has got to suck, man. Worrying in fear, stewing in envy and hatred and greed. That rat bastard has more money than me. And he didn't give me the money. I'm going to call him an Uncle Tom. And oh, by the way, don't think if you share the traits, it's going to protect you. I think some of the black members of this audience might be aware of that, where if all of a sudden you started making money, I'm sure your community was very supportive of you. No one ever said, well, you think you're better than us, or you're an Oreo, or you're an Uncle Tom. That never happens, right? They never demand money, right? And then if you say, well, I worked for this, and then, no, I knew you was a traitor or whatever, and then you're kicked out of the society. Oh, darn. I guess I'll just go live in a nice neighborhood where there's more jobs and we don't have to pay for parking. Nonstop Dre. At what moment did Happy Cappy become Angry Cappy? I'm not happy. Why, like recently or in my life? Happy Cappy may have been 3 years old. And with visits with my grandpa, maybe I got up until 4. But I was pretty miserable at about the age of 3.5, 4. It was pretty bad. And I definitely became not only angry Cappy, but hate-filled Cappy when I started going to kindergarten. Because I was like, I could kill all these teachers. Oh my God, what a bunch of piece of shit scumbag douchebags. Just a bunch of fucking Wisconsin-citizen Nazis. You think your Catholic school teachers are bad? Oh my God, a special place in hell for child molesters and people who talk in the theater and parochial school teachers. And then I'm slowly, there were spurts of happiness. I was happy like my last semester of college because I thought I was going to go on to finally greater and better things. And that was short-lived. Thinking if any girls really made me happy. No, I was always worried about money. So I dated good girls. They were the minority, the distinct minority, but they, you can't be happy if you're still worrying about food. I was happy briefly. Gather round, kids. Uncle Cappy's going to tell you a story. There was this blonde gal, and she was a tomboy, and I only knew her through volleyball. And she was a pretty good volleyball player, but I was better. Because I'm a good volleyball player, believe it or not, even though I'm 5'9". And so always sweaty, you got sand on you, and it's just kind of, and I think she was like a Phi Ed teacher or something like that. And I had this formal event, 1999 New Year's Eve, going into 2000. I was at this mansion out in West Bloomington. Atham, look it up. And the guy who was hosting says, hey, Aaron, you want to come to the party? I say, oh, yeah, that'd be great. He says, well, bring a guest. I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess I got to figure out a guest. So I said, I could ask these hot girls out, but they're always a pain in the ass. And I wanted this to be an enjoyable night. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ask. I even forgot her name now. I'm going to ask what's her name if she wants to go to this thing. God almighty, I don't even know if she got a dress. And so I said, hey, you want to go to this formal thing? You need a dress. Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Cool. Well, then I pick her up, and it's like a completely different woman. Like she's got this beautiful blue dress on. I bought her a corsage. Okay. I know we were all dumb and stupid. We all did stupid things when we were young. I bought her a corsage. Now, thankfully, she appreciated it. But yes, Cappy was a little dumb back then. And I got it for her, and she was done up, and she had them blue eyes, those, not the discriminated bigots against the brown-eyed people. She had blue eyes, blonde hair, and taller than me, obviously, of course. And we had a grand old time. And I ended up really liking this guy. And everything, then we started dating, and everything was fine. The birds were chirping. Chocolates are being delivered on Tuesdays. Free ice cream Fridays. I had a job. Dance classes were going well. Everything's going great. She's smart and fun. Remember, it was a cold, like January night. Snuggled up. Oh, it's just nice and warm. She had a small apartment, but she had this really comfortable half bed. I don't know what it was. It had like a back to it. And we're just all cuddled up in the blankets. I'm like, oh man, this is great. Tall blonde gal with good sized tits. And I was just like, oh, and then just it was snowing out, and the street light had that yellow gold copper kind of light just coming in through the blinds. I don't know. And then she says, Aaron, and just like, oh, fuck, no. Because it wasn't like, hey, Aaron. It'd be Aaron, and like, oh, yeah. You don't want to get married or have kids, do you? No. Well, I kind of want to get married and have kids. And I said, are you having fun? She's like, yes. Are we having a good time? Yes. Is the sex great? And do you like eating food? Because I like eating food. When we have kids, we won't have money to eat food. Do you like it? She's like, I know, but we'll make more money when we're older. I'm like, no, I really don't want kids. She's like, oh, I don't think we can date anymore. I'm like, no. And then that brief glimmer of Happy Cappy was smoted, extinguished from the universe. And so except for fleeting, what would you call it? Rare circumstances, like if the perfect storm formed, yeah. But for the most part, no, because your larger background environment didn't change. And even though my life has gotten incredibly better, you can't turn it off. You still like, oh, I got to worry about this. I got to worry about that. I got to do this. I got to do that. And so I'm happier, Cappy. I'll be happy when I have my 2 million total net assets, half here, half over in Croatia, or wherever I decide to go. And I have 2 quiet little places. And the communists can't kill me. That's it. They could take half my assets, but they can't get like once I'm insured against global communists, I'll be relaxed. Don't know if I'll be happy. I don't know if that's even capable. I'd love to hear some older men's like, I don't know, like you just can't like, yay! Because also novelty has gone away. It's not like I'm excited about Disney World. A new movie is in town. Oh, great. Is there going to be politics in it? So hopefully Angry Cappy will go back. Maybe he can return to content Cappy or not Angry Cappy. Jamie Jones, $5. Cappy, can you explain the fish bicycle part you keep saying? I don't have any context. Oh yeah. That's, who said that? It was Gloria Steinem, one of the more popular, though maybe dead, boomer feminists said, women need men like fish need bicycles. It's a very famous quote. And that's the, whenever girls say, why can't I find a man? Your response can always be fish bicycle. Nonstop Dre, $2. Thoughts on STEM's becoming STEAM, aka art? Well, they've tried. It doesn't look. Adding A to STEM doesn't lessen mechanical engineering degree. And adding A to STEM doesn't make an art history degree any better. It's just to make people feel good in colleges because everyone knows that STEM people are the smartest. It's not an opinion. If you look at IQ by major, obviously your physicists and computer guys and nuclear engineers, those type, obviously they're smarter and by a significant amount, almost 1 full standard deviation, 2, and sometimes if you get the physicist, like 2 full standard deviations compared to elementary education majors and education majors in general. And since you cannot just have fiscal communism, where you're jealous of how much other people earn. You have to have trait communism, where you're jealous of other people's traits, or ability communism, abilities. So this is why big is now beautiful, right? Because we can't have beautiful women being beautiful. All women have to be beautiful. You can't have smarter people, because that makes people in the arts feel bad. So we have to, it really is like the Special Olympics, but for academia, like, okay, we'll set up a doctoral program for the social sciences. Yep, you're a doctor. Oh, you have your doctorate in anthropology. Interesting. Yeah, you're a doctor. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You're a little doctor. You're a little doctor. Yes. Oh, that's nice. You have a 3.8 GPA in communications. That won't even translate to 0.7 in a mechanical engineering degree. Yes, I would like fries with that. Oh, but yes, you see, STEM needs the artists. We really do need you people, right? So it doesn't, so you can make that facade in school. That person's still going to be on the unemployment line. They're still going to be asking for a bailout. And the engineers and the actuaries are going to make all the money. And truck drivers. Juan the Aztec Patriarch for $5. I disagree. Women don't die alone. The U.S. is filled with millions of simps willing to tolerate unacceptable behavior that they'll settle. Yeah, but it's all digital. I mean, most women will die alone because they outlive their husbands or men in general. And I've seen it. I have had dealings with nursing homes in capacity. I won't mention how. But yeah, you see it, and there's like 1 or 2 guys for every 5 or 6, 7, 8 gals. The men are and then the gals all want those guys. So it is a game of musical chairs, but it's 20 gals and maybe 2 chairs. And a lot of women are left out. Now, if they are widows, obviously they did that till death do them part, and very good women. But I'd be curious to see, like, when Gen X starts becoming grandma age, which is coming up pretty soon. I'll be curious to see how many of them are like actual spinsters. They're alone. They're never like, they got divorced when they were 45. Now they're 55, 60. Maybe they got a boyfriend, or maybe they're getting enough internet attention. Because I don't see World War II generation women or old boomer women using the internet that much. You don't see a lot of boomer women on the Instagram pages, or the only fans only. Fans only. Yes, fans only, not friends only. Fans. But that'll change as that generation. And men will always pay him digital attention. Yeah, but that doesn't mean to not be alone. That means you have to have someone with you. You have to commit to them. And I don't see a lot of gals committing. Nonstop Dre, $2. But Cappy, it's hard for women to. Yes, it is. It is. That's why all of you have to work harder. The Afi Kingdom podcast, $5. This is a new guy here. Salute, brother. I was on a panel with you. Didn't realize I was talking to one of my favorite authors. Wait, the Afi Kingdom. Hang on. Is this you, Abu American? Afi Kingdom podcast. Was this one? Afi Kingdom. Here we go on YouTube. Are you going to Donovan's thing in the Afi Kingdom? What podcast were we on? John's? Okay. Yeah, take a look at his channel, the Afi Kingdom podcast. 22,000 subscribers. How long you been? Oh, you do regularly. Look at you. Yeah, you're banging out material. You're consistent. Oh my God, did you have Sterling Cooper on your show? Are you that desperate? You're bringing the Australians in on your show? Yeah, dude, you're banging out the content. And you've been doing, I'm just keep scrolling down, over a year. Yeah, guys, if you're looking for a new podcast, 2 years ago. All right, there we are. Thanks, Afi. In Houdin, $3. Frugal cigar recommendations. Cusano M1s. Get them online. It's just easiest that way. The vast majority of cigar lounges don't have them. Cusano, Cusano. It just says M1 on the band. It's a green, gold, white band. Perfect cheap cigar. And they're my favorite cigars. Alex Patino, $10. To be strong In Latin America, people are obsessed on who has more clear skin, along with either blue or green eye color. A lot of people put stock in Spanish genes, as you have seen in the telenovelas, which are hilarious to watch, even if you don't speak a word of Spanish. Women got big cans, all blonde hair, and the speaker say, "She looks Scandinavian. She doesn't look like a Roberta to me. Where are the Hispanic? Where are the Mexicans at? What? Oh, here's one guy. Oh, they kicked him out. He went and fetched the car." I don't know what they're saying, but it looks like it's American soap operas turned up to 12. It looks like Antonio Porque. Nonstop Dre, $2. Yep, as I do better, the more people think I owe them. Yeah. Yep. You always hide your power level. You always hide your power level, guys. Gals, you too. You don't tell people you're a nurse practitioner. You don't tell people you're a surgeon. You don't tell people that you're an actuary. You're just a lowly assistant analyst. I'm just an orderly with a stethoscope. Ignore that piece of paper from Harvard Medical School. That means nothing. And I live in this crappy apartment and I drive this crappy car. No, you can't look at my 401k balance. This presupposes people even know what a 401k balance is. Nonstop Dre, $362. What's the origin of Atham? Look it up. Maybe I can't remember the exact origin, but he was on my show and I say, "Hey, Atham, look this up." I think we maybe just kept having him look things up. And so now anytime I bring up a city or a location or even a bit of trivia, I'm like, "Hey, Atham, look this up." And 9 out of 10 times he's here, but the boy might be sleeping today. Taekwondo for €2. Angry Cappy is monetizing bipolarity. Good. I'm not bipolar. I'm just manic. I'll put it that way. I think bipolar is manic depressive. Isn't that it? You switch between the two? I'm just manic. I'm sure if you were to send me up against a psychology panel with a bunch of those frauds known as psychologists, I'd be diagnosed with so much crap like defiance disorder, ADHD, maniaism, manicism. Oh, toxic masculinity, of course, that. But it's not. These are not mental illnesses. This is a natural response to a long-term hostile environment. Yeah, give me Mark Dayton money. I'll be happy, or I'll be more relaxed. But these are all not only natural reactions to a hostile environment, it is how you thrive and survive. Get angry, get pissed, and take it and do something productive with it. That's how you get out of poverty or your bad situation. Is you take your anger and rage, completely justified. And while you might be justified to go and lay waste to a bunch of fucking people, you can't because you end up in jail. So you got to channel that towards something good and productive. And monetizing, if I could get paid to yell at the internet, sure. Joshua the King, man, what a lot of you guys going after Kevin Samuels with your nice fashion here. $10. Knew at the age of 13, mom was on her way out. Cancer, purposely picked a vocational high school for electrical, graduated and joined the Navy as a steam engineer at 17 and a half, set up my TSP, Fidelity Investments, now 20. Boom, there it is. There it is. Anybody worried about Josh making? Now, here's the question, Josh. Do you even tell people when you go back? Now, your mom, unfortunately, has passed away, but do you tell anyone? Like your setup? Don't tell them about your TSP. Don't tell them about your investments. I'm just a lowly guy in the Navy. I just deal with steam. It's not nuclear, it's steam. It's pretty archaic and old. I'm totally not important. You don't tell them that you make it into some high-level specialty and then you get training in the Navy and then you leave and then you go contract out for $100,000 a year. Yep, just going to my boring mechanic job over at Norfolk, Virginia. Just got my old 2016 Ford. Yep. Oh, I couldn't afford that. That's too much, darling. I'd love to take you to that restaurant, but maybe let's get some coffee. Let's get some coffee. Black Kojak, 2 British pounds. Black communities in the United Kingdom and Africa countries don't shame us to give back. It's probably a U.S. Really? They don't? Okay. Interesting. Although there was that article of the guy in Jamaica who won, black guy, he won the lottery, but to collect it, he put on the scream mask so no one could tell who he was because he's afraid his family and friends would ask for money. So maybe not the case in Jamaica. I'd be quiet plus less flashy if I was rich. Yeah, just you don't tell anyone. Dre, $2. Cappy thinks all black guys look the same. They do, don't you? Right? Y'all look the same, right? Eddie Wolf, €5. Have a look at the Croatian Riviera at the city. Makarska. Let's take a Makarska. Is that where that James Bond movie was filmed? Oh, yeah. It looks like that's on the Adriatic. It looks like Italy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks real nice. Very nice. Yeah. Nice little bay there. There'll be some great beach running. It does. It kind of looks like Genoa, but not as modern, or I don't want to say clean. It looks clean, obviously. Not as pompous as Genoa. Offie King, the podcast, 3 years, 6 books, and it was Modern Life, Dating Jod. Realized it was you when I watched you on Fresh Fit podcast. Oh, okay. What? Email me the link, and I'll go back and I'll be reminded. Yeah, but Modern Life, John, he's a good guy. He helped me out earlier today, promoting my books and stuff. Ian G, $5. He has nothing to say. Thank you, Ian. Mexi Mike, $5. Spanish telenovas still know how to do beautiful women. None of the big is beautiful. Sabado Gigante also has beautiful women with big cans. What's Sabado Sunday Giant? Big Saturday? Big Sunday? Sabado. Here it is, television program. Sabado Gigante. 1962. It's a variety show. That thing's been on since 1962? What? Hang on, Wikipedia. That spans generations. Sabado Gigante, English translation, Giant Saturday, was a Spanish language television program broadcast by the Spanish International Network in the United States. It was also Univision's longest running program and longest running television program. When did it end? 2015, it looked like it ended. Okay. Sabado Gigante was an eclectic and frenetic mix of various contests, human interest stories, and live entertainment. From start in 1962, was hosted by Chilean TV star Mario Kreutzberger. Kreutzberger? What? Should we give it to Lopez? No. Rodriguez? No. Hernandez? No. Fernandez? No. Hey, Kreutzberger. Yes, give it to that guy. Spanish television. Under the stage name Don Francisco, Ronaldo Barral began serving as the co-host in 1986. That role was taken over by Javier Romero. Well, of course, with those names. Good Christ. The 3-hour program aired on Univision each Saturday at 8 p.m. A new episode was produced every week throughout the show's history, with no reruns and only rare preemptions due to special programming. 2015 would end after 53 years. Ooh, Miss Colita. Who's Miss Colita? A parody of beauty pageants. 6 women compete in swimsuits and other revealing attire for Miss Colita. The contest usually held Saturday before Miss Venezuela. Well, they're pretty skinny now. I bet you there's not going to be fat girls for Miss Venezuela anytime soon, huh? Miss Chiquita featured girls, usually children. Oh, so Chiquita, it's the little girls. Okay, little kids. Comedy segments. Hang on. Sabado Gigante Mujeres. I'm going to have to type in girls because they'll give me Spanish pages. All right, let's take a look. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. These women were not bad. Here's a picture. Yeah, even the co-hosts were very, yeah. But this is no different than American TV reality stuff. Like all the girls are hot and all that. So yeah, of course. I'm sure it was a good old time. We're pro women with big cans. Yeah, I know. When you say it's a long, it's going to be a short podcast. I'm going to try and make it short. I just don't want to miss any of the super chats. You guys keep throwing them in here. I do have a couple items to go through. DJ Nonstop Dre 360 short podcast 2.5 hours later. ENG, I wanted to know your opinion on joining the military. I'm in college for computer science. I want to be a data science when I graduate. Yeah, go into the military. Go in the military now, get the GI Bill, and then go get your degree. While you're in the military, get your degree in computer science. They might gladly pay for it. All right. Let's get to some sponsors here. Necromancer, Tombstone Blues. I'm going to put it in the chat room. It is a comic book. Young man had me do a review of it. And it was all right. I'm not a big comic book guy, but if you guys are into a film noir detective story, but it involves the afterlife and the undead, get that. Necromancer, Tombstone Blues. It actually is a sequel to previous works of his. Trails of Sorrow, Tears of Joy. This was written by a nice black lady. And she wanted me to advertise it, and I owe her many advertisements. I put the YouTube review of her advertisement. And it's 3 true stories about her growing up in Nigeria, experiences she had in Nigeria. About 3 women that overcame true adversity. Not, I only got 5 scholarships instead of 6 to go study women's studies in the United States. What horrible oppression. And she wanted me to promote that book. Let me get the other. Hang on. This is a Trails of Sorrow, Tears of Joy. And she's cute. That's another reason you should all buy a book you guys probably won't like. Tears of Sorrow, Trails of Joy. 1 rating. Yeah, so if you guys want to help her out, I don't know, maybe get this for a female friend. And here she's, Sandra Nwankwo. Currently resides in Maryland, United States, but she's got nice dress on and very done up pretty there, guys. I mean, for anything, go take a look. I'll put this in the chat room too. All right, so we got that. Then we have Strongman Personal Finance. This is a YouTube channel. He wanted me to promote him. So I'll get that there. Oh, wait, no. Strongman Personal Finance. I got to put it in the chat room first. Then I got to go to the site. Strongman Personal Finance. Oh, yeah, this guy. He is retired military. He does basically personal financial management, talks about Bitcoin. He did a review of Bachelor Pad Economics, thankfully. Talks about politics. There's Peter Schiff. There's Bernie Sanders. Yeah, there you go. And he does regular work, regular content. So that's another one you guys could check out. Yeah, he reviewed Thomas Sowell's Basic Economics. Okay, boom, we got that there. PirateBookTakedown.com. If you have content that you have created, you don't want to copyright it, copyrightTakedown.com and have Doug go and scour the internet for you, find out where they have illegal copies of your content. And if you're willing to pay him more, he will send him the DMCA takedown notices. It is worth hiring him out, paying him a couple $100 to do this, depending on I had to pay more because I obviously have more work out there. And then having you deal with this. I don't want to. And he can take care of that. Tell him that the captain sent you. Day by Day cartoon. If you're looking for a conservative libertarian cartoon, may I recommend going to Chris Muir's Day by Day cartoon. He sent me a nice gift. I sent him some pictures of the house, and then he did some artwork. And it was funny as hell. It was really cool. So check him out, daybydaycartoon.com. I'll put that in the chat room. Oh, and just so you know, it's like PG-13, and then he has like Revolution Red, which is rated R. Just giving you guys a heads up. It's not something to send your kid. Hey, there he is. Yeah, Strongman Personal Finance. He's in the house. There we go. Let's take a look at him. Piero San Giorgio. Check out his YouTube. He talks about survival, as does Bunker Basics with Bunker Bob. Those two guys. So you go to bunkerbasics.com with Bunker Bob, and also look up Piero San Giorgio on YouTube. I'll put his in the chat room there. So go to bunkerbasics.com with Bunker Bob. The Science of Mastering Women, written by Linda Gross. Linda Gross, she has a podcast as well. But if you want to look at a psychological analysis as to women's behavior and what glean or little gems of knowledge you could glean from that to help you in your pursuit of the girlsa, get The Science of Mastering Women, written by Linda Gross, available paperback, Kindle, and audiobook. Academiccomposition.com. Go to academiccomposition.com to have Alex and his crack team of writing staff write your college papers for you. Why? Because you're not learning anything in college anyway, unless it's your actual degree. They're just doing that to get more money out of you. So save yourself the time and frustration. Have Alex and his team of writing staff write your papers for you at academiccomposition.com. Also, Alex is always hiring. So if you want, email him at academiccomposition.com. Let him know in either case that the captain sent you. And that's good. The Black Brigade with my good buddy DT. The Black Brigade Debrief. I put the YouTube channel there. He has moved on to nihilism. What's his name? The guy with the funny mustache who was a nihilist. And Taoism. And he is... instead of yelling at the clouds and being angry at politics, he has now gone into philosophy, which I've been downloading some of those podcasts and tuning into it. So it's been, I wouldn't say better. I always liked DT's analysis, but I just couldn't stand the politics anymore, the news. So his analysis is still good, but the topic is different this time. And I found it a little bit more entertaining. We did that. All right. Let's go through some more super chats and I'll get to the 11-year-old kid later. Oh, we already did that one. All right. Channel 1800 Dumb, $5 New Zealand. Cappy, good to see you with Papa and Blakey. Oh, yeah, I was on Terrence Pop's show. Likes up, fellas, by default. More likes, everything gets better. Likes are free. Okay, yeah, if you can like the show, 255 of you tuning in, everyone just like the show. It will help the algorithm, I guess. But Aaron, I don't want. I know. Daniel A, $5. Just remember, a cake a day keeps menopause away. Yeah. Daniel, there, a book for Operation Evil. A cake a day keeps menopause away. Just write it. You'll be a bestseller. Oh, Juan Doe for €2. Daniel A plus a good old glass of wine. Yeah, a bottle of wine. Not a glass. Come on. Clarence W, $5 Canadian. Can I be an agent in the field when I go to a non-woke college in September? Not really. You could just be a Canadian agent in the field. You got to help me out. Like, you got to send me good articles, not these shit articles that 9 out of 10 people send me. Like, hey, Cappy, this is like, oh, okay, cool. Don't send me unless it's absolutely like, oh my God, this is a new idea. Don't send me, hey, liberal arts major says stupid thing. Girls demand more free shit. I don't need any more of those articles. Women claim to be oppressed. Don't racism XYZ at colleges. Don't care. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess if anything, if you could send me a copy or like scan in some flyers that are like outlandishly stupid. But if you're going to a non-woke college, and why do you go to a physical college anyway? Just go online. Save your time and money and commute. Competent Man, $5. Funny event. Perth Mint, Australia may be out of silver. Oh, okay. Here, this is an article I'd like to see, Competent Man. Reports are people are being told they may have to wait months for delivery of silver stored there. Where'd it go? Wait a minute. Why'd we put it at the vault? I guess it's the mint. Not the vault. They're just not. Is it a supply of raw silver? Is that what it is? And they can't make their They're kangaroo bucks or whatever they call them down in Australia. The Competent Man, $2. Frederick Nietzsche, thank you. Thank you. That's who it was. And there we go. All right. I can tell you the good stuff because we have to have good stuff with Good Morning Coronachan. I was out in Green Bay and my buddy says, well, let's go to a Mexican restaurant. I'm like, a Mexican restaurant in Green Bay. This ought to be good. This ought to be good. And I told Atham, I sent a picture, like, old Mexico. And he's like, yeah, a Mexican food in Green Bay. He's like, because you're so close to the border. I'm like, well, we actually are pretty close to the Canadian border. So it's all right food. It's good food. Thought it'd be pretty, like it would be better than average. I thought it would be good food, better than average, because a fair amount of Latinos were working there. I'm like, okay, this is pretty authentic. It's not Ratzenberger, whoever the other guy was that was the original star of the show of Sábado Gigante. It is like, okay, these people are from Mexico, or at least descended from Mexico, and they probably have some legitimate meals and all that. And so I get up to go to the bathroom. All of a sudden, I see this little kid. And this kid's got hustle. He's bussing tables and cleaning up tables and wiping them down and getting in. And I'm like, is that kid working? This little kid, not even 4 feet tall. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on this kid, and he is not slowing down. He's going and da. And then, someone would tell me, hey, I need you to go do this. And okay. He didn't gripe or whine. And then he comes up to me and says, do you need more soda? I'm like, no, it's all right. I'm good, kid. So I gave him a $5. I say, kid, I got up. I say, hey, kid, how old are you? He says, 11. I said, you're 11 and you're working like this? I'm like, here's $5, kid. Go have something fun. So I went up to I think it was the family. I said, you got your kid working at 11? He's like, yeah. You could see the dad thinking it was his dad. He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's great, man. Like, I say, you work hard, you'll do better. And I just like, holy cow. It was such a great thing to see. Like, this little kid had hustle. Now, let's say he got paid $5 an hour. Maybe he got some tips. All right. Let's say he worked 4 hours. So 4 hours, let's say twice a week, 8 hours times 5. That's $40 a week. $40 a week for an 11-year-old kid is pretty good money. And I know the work ethic is more important. Hopefully this young man goes off and majors in something worthwhile to make his hour of labor more than $5 per hour. But I'm just kind of like, all right. It was so rare. Like, one of the good things, like a young kid that isn't fucked up. That kid's not going to have the his, or the social anxieties, or the bipolars, or I think I might like Bobby, and Bobby's trans. It's not going to be any of that. Just going to be a normal kid who works hard, although he'd probably be so alienated from the rest of society. I'm thinking about with that kid now, if he's got that much hustle, why the heck should he even bother going to school? Have him go to school online. Have him pass high school at the age of 14? He could do it. Apply for college at 14 and a half. Go online. He's got a degree in engineering before his 18th birthday. It was good to see that. Kid had hustle. That was it. All right. Wando for €2. How do we get Cappy MI6? How do we join Cappy MI6? Need European. MI6? No, I don't have any plans for global domination. I have no criminal mastermind plans. I don't even have like low rate thug criminal plans. I'm not going to stiff up grandma over at the Piggly Wiggly. If I'm doing anything clandestine, it's Operation Evil. That's a one-man operation. I'm employing a couple people to do research for me, but not work on the actual projects. MI6. You know what? If you want to help out with MI6, I have a plan. I can't mention it now because I don't want other people getting in on the action. I got an idea, and it isn't special ops, but it's a service. It'd be a global service that many men and some women would definitely enjoy and need. And so that's kind of, I wasn't planning on doing that till I got to Croatia or wherever I'm going, because it would need a foreign country. But it's an idea. It's an idea I have. And maybe that we set up a network, because networks are important. They're very important. Like, I could have the greatest product in the world, like, Where is it? Hang on, I'll get it here. Like this book right here. This is the greatest product in the world right here. This is the highest return on investing book you could ever get. You're not going to get a higher rate of return in college, your career, medical school. This book right here has a higher rate of return, percentage-wise. But if I didn't have the network with the Rule Zero guys, or Better Bachelor, or Terrence Popp, I would have gotten nowhere near promoted. I would have had nowhere near the amount of sales. And another perfect example, some doctor, a data science doctor, super high IQ, way better, does artificial intelligence, PhD. He has 106,000 followers. He retweeted the link to that book and tagged everything like AI, computer programming, data science, statistics, actuary. I'm like, whoa, dude, thanks. Thank you very much. And so it's important to have a network. So you have people with different skills and different influences. And so we'll have the network. Channel 1800 dumb, $5 New Zealand dollars, $5 for the kid, Aaron, laughing out loud. Work ethic is a very admirable quality, even if you get zeroed out. Well, all I had was $5. I don't carry that much cash with me. I would have given the kid 20, but all I had was a 5. What's wrong with $5? That's a fair, you didn't even do anything for me. I was just impressed with the kid. You guys can give me $5 if you're impressed with me. I don't mind. I'll take $5. $5 is fine. That's like a third of Poke Bowl, man. Yeah, maybe a quarter when you include taxes. You should partner up with Modern Life Dating and Operation Eva. No, I can't. Okay. It's a one-man operation. If for the only reason that I know I'm not going to tell anyone, accidentally even. Not that I don't trust Modern Life John. But what if Modern Life John gets drunk, or a really cute Asian girl with a really nice set of tits says, John, I'll give you the best titty job you've ever had in your life if you tell me what Operation Evil is. He'd be like, okay, which he wouldn't. But it would be too tempting for people to promote it themselves. Not that they capitalize on my idea, but they think, Clary, that's a great idea. Let me promote it. It's like, no, in you promoting it, people know something is up. This has to be a completely removed. I even set up a separate LLC, an anonymous LLC, to run the entire operation out of. So unless like this entity gets sued and you have to subpoena the data, no one's going to know it's me. Mike Sinatra for $4, Cappy. What do you think about Amazon FBA? What's FBA? Is that a program they got? Fulfillment by Amazon. You sell it, we ship it. Oh, where, yeah, you just use them as a, I'm for it. Yeah, if you got a product, sell it on Amazon or sell it on eBay. It's the market. It's like getting into Walmart. I mean, if you got a product that sells, yeah, do it. That's what I would do. I thought you'd think of the affiliate program, man. I've never used it, though, but I don't know how you could run a business today if you weren't going to sell something on Amazon. Because I go to Amazon and I'm even having a hard time going to Walmart to buy things because, like, oh, I got all the way over there. I got to go all the way to Wisconsin. That's it. All right. Did I do all the news articles? Nah, I don't have to worry. Trumbull University Diversity Committee cancels meeting because half the people drop out. What's her name? Lena Dunham has a new show out, and it's absolute cancer. It's like, do you guys remember Fame? That show from the late 70s, early 80s. It's like if Fame got a case of AIDS, cancer, herpes, and gonorrhea all at the same time and lost a foot. That's what would be Lena. I'm not even going to mention it. You just look at the thing. Okay, this just looks like cancer. Who do you like more, Jack Napier or TJ? I like them both. They're both my retarded little brothers that I never wanted. I hate them equally. No, they're different guys. Jack is more cosmopolitan and charming. TJ is more deep and philosophical. Though TJ can get wicked good with the memes. He can hit some of those out of the park. And Jack, he's pretty good for a Scandinavian guy. Daniel Way, $10. You ever consider tried playing some of the old Resident Evil games? The games are essentially a big puzzle with resource management and shooting monsters. Seem like something you'd like. I don't like, oh, I got to find 3 bullets. And then a horde of zombies come in. Oh, but you better use this stick. I never liked Myst or King's Quest. And that, it was like either it's a run and gun, shoot 'em up, Call of Duty, Halo, or a good flying game like Blazing Angels 1 and 2. That was a pretty fun game. I even like the Battlefront 2 game. That I love flying around in the X-Wing and the Starfighters. It was pretty cool. And I'm starting to lose my interest in video games as well. Hey, for $5, if I'd give you $5, but I'm not. I'd give you $5, but I'm not impressed enough. Yeah, you only gave me $4.99. Thanks. Mexi Mike for $5. Please broadcast your East European reconnaissance. It's looking bad here in woke America. Your boy Nomad Cap. Nomad Capitalist Henderson has his book too. Have you read it? No. I only got so much time. I did the math and I'm doing about 16-hour work days. And it sucks. Admittedly, that includes working out, which I include as part of work because I hate it. But I don't have time. I will have time when my house is done. That'll be done. And then I got my other to-do list. I got to go out to Vegas. We're doing a photo shoot with Donovan Sharp. I'm probably going to have to go to Rapid City and pick up a couple other things. I just got too much stuff. Wando, $2. Cappy needs to be waterboarded to tell us about Operation Evil. Well, there's no, you're not going to get it out of me. You're not. Cappy lived in the basement. Biden hid in the basement. Cappy 2024. What's hiding in the basement? What did Biden do? Thanks, Sam. Channel 1800 dumb, 5 New Zealand dollars. Cappy, other day you were talking about resistance training and disliking it. Try hit Menser, all that stuff. Could be good, save so much time. No, I've got it. I got my workout down to like under an hour and a half. And like before it used to take me 2 hours because I'm like, okay, I hate this. So I'm going to chill out in between sets, just get my strength back up and then do full pull-ups, full push-ups, full bench press. And then you're right, it took too much time. And so then what I do is I do my bench press, then I'll do pull-ups because they're 2 different muscle groups and then rest a little bit. Then I'll do another bench press, then another pull-ups. And so that cut off about half an hour. But I'm kind of getting burnt out of being a constant rush. Like just to be able to come in and sit and chill out and like, oh yeah, I think I'm going to sit on my ass for 15 minutes and do nothing but look at the television. And it's not even, I don't even have it on. I'm just looking at a television. With the FBA, I've been finding products in Walmart, Ross, Costco, and flipping on Amazon for double the price if it's listed. Okay, yeah. Mike, are you making money? Then yes, I'm for it. That's the only thing that matters. Cappy, should I sell lollipops online? Do you make money? Yeah, lots. Yes, keep doing that. Yes. Deep inside philosophical observations by Cappy. All right, I think we're all caught up. All right, everyone, bow your heads in prayer. Dear great and merciful Coronachan, thank you for your non-sentient and zero fucks given truth, the teeth and threads that have been missing so much from the real world that are yet necessary for us to value life, acknowledge truth, and love our fellow man. May your nature continue to expose the evil and parasitic among us, the lazy and those that put themselves above all others, our slave masters who have kept us enslaved, teachers who can be replaced by YouTube, and the stupid and unprepared who riot for toilet paper when there is none. Bless us, O great Coronachan, and reward us, specifically those of us who are smart enough to have a 1-month supply of toilet paper and who stocked up on 5.56 ammo as a matter of basic insurance policy. And may thine blessing come in the form of lower asset prices, less boomers, less traffic, cheap gas, and near-free airline flights. In thy name, Wuhan, Wuhan, amen. Do we have any super chats remaining? No, we don't. I'm out of here. Good night and toodles.